Fort St. Joe Lady Sharks with a record of 26 wins and 5 losses. Number 3 at guard, 5'2" freshman, Jay Lennox. Starting for the Hawthorne Lady Hornets with a record of 28-2. At guard, 5'4" junior, number 1, Jayla Williams. For the Lady Sharks, at guard, 5'9", 8th grader, number 10, India Camp. For the Lady Hornets, at guard, 5'5", senior, number 5, Antanya Mason. For the Lady Sharks, at guard, 5'5", sophomore, number 11, Janice Brathwaite. For the Lady Hornets, at forward, 5'7", freshman, number 10, Jasmine Jackson.
Spectrum News welcomes you inside the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, the second championship game of the night here at the FHSAA Girls Basketball Championships is the 1A final, pitting Hawthorne against Port St. Joe. Each of these programs looking for their first ever state championship. With Andrew Frazier, I'm Austin Lyon. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our coverage of the FHSAA Girls Basketball Championships. Each of these teams coming off exciting and close wins in the state semifinals here on Wednesday. Hawthorne defeating Holmes County by 2, 50-48 after trailing by 6 midway through the fourth quarter. Port St. Joe held Madison County scoreless for the final 2:09, and the Sharks defeated the Cowboys 51-48. Each of these teams lost in the state semifinals a year ago. Andrick, they're from small towns, but big-time talent at the guard position.
Big-time talent. They may be small in stature, but these point guards really personify the communities that these teams come from. These young ladies really understand how to go after it. Again, they may be small in stature, but they're strong in punch.
Jayla Williams for Hawthorne at 5'4", and Jay Lennox for Port St. Joe, a freshman just 5'2".
Both of these young ladies really know how to get after it. They are defensive dynamos, get their teams in the offense, have to make sure that they stay on the floor today. An exciting contest. Who's going to be the champion tonight for Class 1A in 2020?
Lennox struggled in the semifinals, just 6 points, 3 of 16 from the floor. Here are the starting lineups for Hawthorne. 2 freshmen and 2 seniors join Jayla Williams. Antonia Mason suffered a sprained MCL in the region final. That was just a week ago. An injury that normally would require a 4 to 6 week recovery, but she is out there in the state tournament, played well in the semifinals. And the muscular coach for Hawthorne is Cornelius Ingram, former NFL and Florida Gators tight end, won a couple of national championships at Florida. He is also the school's head football coach. Interesting narrative. We'll talk about him as the night goes along. It is a young Port St. Joe lineup. 2 sophomores are the oldest players in the starting 5. Amani Jones, 10 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 4 steals in Wednesday's state semifinal win. A great all-around game for the player listed as a center. And the head coach for Port St. Joe is Kenny Parker. Won his 300th career game this season. Has some state championships as an assistant for Vernon Epinette in basketball. Won 2 state titles as the girls track coach at Port St. Joe. But the school has never won a girls basketball state championship. Second title game appearance for Port St. Joe. They lost to Wildwood 2 years ago in the championship game. Hawthorne, with their first ever title game appearance, they lost in the semifinals a year ago. Officials are Carlos De Jesus, Sable Williams, and Kenyetta Jackson. And we are underway in the 1A championship game. Port St. Joe in those bright yellow uniforms. Hawthorne is in white. Jayla Williams boards the miss for Hawthorne. Quickly the other way, a missed shot from Mason. Another opportunity from in close, and a rebound out to Williams.
Look at the pace of this contest, Austin. Getting started early. Both teams in man-to-man defense.
Hawthorne, a team that wants to get up and down. They average almost 60 points per game. Williams 3 in and out. Lennox certainly wants to push the tempo for Port St. Joe. Got into traffic there. A held ball will give the possession back to Hawthorne.
both teams yesterday, earlier this week, Austin, able to put up 60 shot attempts. I think 62 it was for Port St. Joe and 61 for Hawthorne in their semifinal wins. So pace is very important to both of these ball clubs.
Neither team shot the ball particularly well, which is not unexpected when you come here to the state tournament. But Port St. Joe especially, Coach Parker talked about them coming out flat. Missed a lot of layups in the early going. He hoped his team would be more ready to go in this championship game.
It's kind of interesting with these ball clubs having two coaches who are very familiar with the big stages and having to perform. So the preparation, I'm pretty sure, all T's are crossed, I's are dotted.
And a pretty big change to the schedule this year. The FHSA going from 9 classes to 7 classes and a day in between all of the semifinals and the championship games, giving coaches an extra opportunity to prepare as Jayla Williams scores the first basket of the game.
I'm enjoying right now just watching both of these ball clubs, Austin on the defensive end, their ability to get in the stance, try to put the ball on one side of the floor. Young ladies are in gaps, faking. You can tell that, again, the attention to detail on the coaches, paramount on both of these ball clubs.
High arcing free throw line jumper falls in for Mimi Larry, 5'10" sophomore, 14 points in Wednesday's semifinal. Now, given the background of both of these coaches, especially Coach Ingram, head football coach, competed at a high level in football and basketball, both of these teams exude toughness.
Absolutely, and I think it all starts on the defensive end, and we can see it here. But, again, these are two ball clubs that, when you have these small town teams, these young ladies have known each other, some of them from birth, and have an opportunity to play together on elementary school teams and PAL and boys club, girls club teams. It truly is a family atmosphere. And what size jacket is that Coach Ingram is wearing? My man looks like a Avenger over there in that suit.
I mean, it's got to be at least a large or an extra large. I mean, he's definitely not rocking a medium. As we mentioned, Ingram, former Florida Gator, NFL tight end, his career derailed by injuries. 2 torn ACLs, one at Florida, one in his rookie year with the Philadelphia Eagles. And to your point, Andrick, about the small towns, both coaches alums of their high schools. These are two men who are extremely passionate about these communities.
There's one thing about giving back is one thing about coming back. And I think what we've seen, especially what I enjoy coming to Lakeland, especially we do some of the 1A, 2A, 3A games, are, some of the athletes who've gone on to play in college and pros who come back to their neighborhoods and their communities to help raise the next generation of athletes. It truly is about giving back, and you have to say kudos to both of these coaches and both of these programs.
Coach Parker, native of Port St. Joe, worked at the St. Joe Paper Mill before getting a chance to coach. He was at Apalachicola as an assistant in Tallahassee, then an assistant for Vernon Epinette. Getting his chance at a head coaching position with the girls program. Nearly midway through the opening quarter, a basket for each team. Down the right side of the lane, that's Jaslyn Jackson, freshman who will work her way to the free throw line.
Here a high UCLA four-set, 2 dribble handoffs that are faked, and an excellent penetration and drive by Jackson, drawing the foul, an opportunity for 2 from the free throw line.
Coach Ingram really excited about Jackson's potential. Again, just a freshman, averaging nearly 10.5 points and 9 rebounds per game. Close to those numbers in Wednesday's semifinal win.
So here's my interesting little tidbit about Hawthorne. Typically when I have to go from Tampa to Jacksonville, I hate the I-4 to 95 kind of trek, right? So I take 75, cut through a Cal, and go through Hawthorne. There's a place called the Burger Barn that has some of the best hamburgers and milkshakes in the world. So if you're ever through Hawthorne, you got to make sure you stop at the Burger Bar.
I would hope as an endorser you just got yourself a burger and shake the next time you go through there.
Well, hopefully they're watching the broadcast, and I will be sure to remind them, even though both of those things are off of my new meal plan, just let everyone else out there know in the viewing presence.
Coach Parker and his Port St. Joe team making their second championship game appearance. Again, a runner-up to Wildwood in 2018. Hawthorne in a title game for the first time ever. And you see the postseason records for these teams. That's an indication that they've been in the playoffs a lot. It's just taken the right people at the helm of these respective programs to get them to the point where they can come to Lakeland.
Yeah, you can't say enough about the dedication that it takes, to build programs. You have the opportunity to have these young ladies for sometimes 3, 4, 5 years. We have several 8th graders who are participating in today's state championship game. But it takes the willingness, too, of these young ladies to perform. And they're out here on this stage trying to earn hardware for the first time for their respective cities and schools.
Foul was on Janice Brathwaite. It's her second. So Coach Parker goes to the bench. Kentavia Hagens, best three-point shooter on Hawthorne's team, in and out with that triple attempt. Mason picking up Lennox before she crossed the midcourt line. Lennox able to get into the lane, and it's an offensive foul.
A good job on dribble penetration by Lennox, but you have to come to a jump stop. Never want to leave your feet to make a pass, and Bowie taking advantage of an offensive player out of control and drawing the charge.
Well, the Bowie family has provided a huge lift to Hawthorne's basketball program this year. Liana and Oceana, both part of the rotation for the girls team, and their brother is the leading scorer for Hawthorne's boys team, which advanced to the 1A Final Four. And Cornelius Ingram's older brother is the coach of the boys team. We'll see them next week here in Lakeland as teams in the larger classifications play their regional finals tonight throughout the state. Larry cut off. Lennox having to work really hard to get the ball as she hoists a three off the back rim. Last touch by Hawthorne.
I have a feeling, partner, aren't going to be many open looks in this evening's contest.
That's the way both of these coaches would like it. They'll pride themselves on having their teams play great defense. Hawthorne allowing under 30 points per game. Port St. Joe just a little bit higher at 33.8. Nice set there. It'll be Johnson on the free throw line for Port St. Joe.
Port St. Joe here with a little bit of flex offense on that possession. Weak side screen led to the open opportunity for Miss Johnson.
13 points, 15 rebounds for Maury Johnson in the semifinal. Free throw line was the only place where she struggled. 1 for 8. And a violation will wipe away that made free throw. 3-2, Hawthorne by a point. Each team with just one field goal so far as we're under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hagens off a screen, finds Bowie off the roll. Stay at this end of the floor.
Both teams here having a little bit of issues with spacing on the offensive end. See if they can knock down a couple of outside shots to widen things up.
Mason just 5'5", was able to get it inside, and she will earn a trip to the line.
Great backdoor cut here by Mason, and Late on the rotation is Jones. Call for the foul.
That's the second foul on Mimi Larry. So 2 on Brathwaite and now 2 on Larry. 2 starters for Kenneth Parker's team with 2 fouls. Shadovia Hudgens comes on. Mason splits a pair. Hawthorne by 2. Through the arms of Bowie and out of bounds, it'll stay with Port St. Joe.
Wonder also on that pass if the length of the floor impacted that decision.
And talking to coaches this week, a lot of coaches that have been here for the first time said it is a big adjustment from going to play at a normal high school court to trying to play here at the RP Funding Center.
Not only the backdrops, but your rotations are a lot longer, especially on presses because of the additional 10 feet centered around half court. Not to mention the NBA three-point line, which can lead to a little bit of deception, especially for your outside shooters with floor spacing.
We have seen so many players this week mistake the blue NBA or G League three-point line for the regular three-point line. They have been forced way out on the perimeter with a number of shots. You can see it there as Williams dribbles the ball into the front court. And Cornelius Ingram will spend a timeout. 1:55 to go here in the first quarter. A 4-2 lead for Hawthorne. We talked about Cornelius Ingram at the top of the broadcast. Graduate of Hawthorne, he was an outstanding quarterback for the Hornets. Transitioned to tight end when he got to Florida, part of both national championship teams under Urban Meyer. Drafted in 2009 by the Eagles. Suffered a torn ACL in his rookie season. Never quite got on track in his NFL career, and now in his 3rd season as the head coach of the girls basketball program.
Had an opportunity to meet young Cornelius Ingram, who played on Team Florida with my younger brother in basketball, and just a phenomenal athlete and tremendous competitor. I think some people really underestimate the amount of attention to detail that you have to be able to coach football and basketball. 2 completely different sports. But the ability to put people in the right places at the right time, and you understand how he was able to be a quarterback in high school and transition to other positions in college and afterwards.
Said he never planned on coaching girls basketball. Nice play off the timeout there with Mason getting a layup inside, so it's 6-2 Hawthorne. Ingram said that as he was coaching football, the sisters of his football players would be dropped off at the school. They wouldn't have anything to do, so he invited them into the weight room, essentially put them through a workout that he would have for his football players. Started to really understand the passion that they had for wanting to work, wanting to get better, continued to work them out. And as the season approached, there was no girls basketball coach. The principal and the AD asked him if he wanted to do it. He accepted the position, and now it is an extremely hectic fall and winter for Cornelius Ingram at Hawthorne.
As a father of 4 daughters, I'm often asked, do I regret not having any sons? And I will tell you this, when you're talking to a daughter and you explain something to them, it only takes once. And you, being a father of a son.
I don't know how many times I have to explain it to my 5-year-old son, but it's more than once.
It really is a difference as a coach. And I've had the opportunity to coach some young women in middle school basketball, and just their attention to detail and how they take what you say for word. And not to take this in the wrong way, but a lot of young men and boys rely on their athleticism to get things done, and you don't see that with the girls and the women. And when they are able to equate the athleticism of what they're teaching them, then you have something that's special.
Nice crossover by Lennox. She banks in the 15-footer. Just the second basket for Port St. Joe. Teams have combined for 10 points in this first quarter. Hawthorne with a 2-point lead. For as hectic as it is for Cornelius Ingram, he says he loves every second of it. Told me on Wednesday, I tell everyone I have a dream job. Just love it at Hawthorne. And for a guy who was in the NFL to dedicate himself to the community where he grew up, says a lot about the character of that man. Lennox with a ball handling exhibition as the clock goes under 10. Shot from the corner, no. Rebound, put back Mari Johnson. And that ties it up at 6. Low scoring between these two teams. Some outstanding defense so far in the 1A championship game. Port St. Joe and Hawthorne even at 6 here in Lakeland. Defensive struggle thus far here in the 1A championship game. Hawthorne and Port St. Joe even at 6 with the late basket by Mari Johnson. This Hawthorne team allowing less than 30 points per game, just 29.8. Look at the steal number. 24 steals per game for Cornelius Ingram's team. And in 11 games this season, they have allowed less than 25 points.
That's one thing about this game of basketball, really any game. I mean, if you prevent the other team from scoring, you have a pretty good chance of winning. And I think most coaches don't understand. I mean, if you teach the defensive end of the game first, it makes offense that much more easy. And these are two programs that understand that.
Second field goal for Lennox gives Port St. Joe the lead. It's now 6 unanswered by the Sharks.
Here, just again, we talked about the ability of these point guards to get into the lane and make things happen. Lennox pulling up for the mid-range jump shot and the easy bucket.
Lennox already in her 3rd year as a starter. She is just a freshman. Virtually no pressure on here as a 7th grader because there were other players on the team that could handle the ball. Even though Lennox was a starter, she wasn't necessarily the point guard who had to handle it all the time. And then last year, all the pressure was on her. Players graduated, and there were some growing pains a season ago. Nice entry pass there, and it's Jaslyn Jackson, the freshman, with a bucket.
Jackson doing a great job of keeping the defender on her hip, showing a hand for an entry pass, keeping the basketball high and kissing it off the glass.
Lennox breaks down the defense. That'll count, and a chance for 3 for Johnson.
I think Lennox is beginning to find her stride here, and just a dribble penetration, a no-look drop-off pass. 5'10" freshman with opportunity for a three-point play.
Around and out. Port St. Joe by 2, 10-8. Scoring picked up significantly here in the second quarter. Once again over the top. Jackson got position. Rebounded by Johnson. Lennox easily gets past Mason. Threw that pass into some traffic. And a jump ball will give possession back to Hawthorne.
She is so shifty, Austin.
Lennox's first game here at the state tournament came 2 years ago as a 7th grader. She had 24 points in a semifinal win to help Port St. Joe get to the state championship game, where they eventually lost to Wildwood.
Perfectly executed play. Hagen's just a tad bit strong for Jackson. I'm not sure people understand. The sets that these two teams are running are college sets that they are executing to a T.
It seems like in this 1A classification, we always get obviously we see the passion. These are small towns, mostly from the northern part of the state, a lot of panhandle schools in Class 1A. They normally bring huge crowds. People underestimate the level of play in this 1A classification. We have seen not just some really good players individually, but some really good teams in 1A through the years on both the boys and girls side.
I mean, the one thing, honestly, Austin, that sticks out to me is the attention to detail and the coaching. I mean, you never see players or teams that are out of control. You understand what you're getting from each team and kind of what personifies them and what makes them tick and go. And the fundamentals are there as well, so you can tell there's a lot of time put in the gym in the off season preparing to get to this point.
Fouls on Mimi Larry, who was out there with 2 fouls. She has picked up her 3rd. Larry upset as she goes to the bench for that foul on the rebounding action. So a 1-and-1 for Jaslyn Jackson, 40% at the line this year. Unable to cash it in. Stolen right back by Mason, and she will have a chance at the line.
One of the lone seniors playing tonight in this contest, and here just sticking around for the offensive rebound and steal.
See the numbers for Mason, 6.1 steals per game. Part of the 24 that Hawthorne averages. Give that foul to Gant. It's her first. Hawthorne just 7 of 18 at the line in Wednesday's semifinal win, and 2 for 6 so far tonight. Good looking second shot, and it's a 1-point game. Williams with a steal. Back-to-back steals for Hawthorne. Hagans tees up a 3 and buries it.
From nearly 3-point range, and how about this man-to-man full court pressure from Hawthorne?
That's now 48 threes this season for Kentavia Hagans, by far the most on the team. Bowie went down with Lennox showing off the handles. Lennox with another chance at a 3. This one she's got.
Young lady plays with a ton of moxie and confidence.
7 points for Jay Lennox. That leads all scorers. Teams have already combined for more points in the second quarter than we had in the entire first. Bowie a touch on the block. Too strong, rebounded by Jones. Tied up, and the arrow will give it to Port St. Joe.
I think Bowie rushed that point-blank range opportunity, had an opportunity to turn and face before attempting the shot.
Passed through the lane and into a lot of traffic. Jones didn't realize how open she was. Strong with the shot, and then a foul on Jayla Williams.
Port St. Joe surely has the size advantage in this contest, and Hawthorne not doing a good job of limiting them to one shot so far today.
Lennox has been the spark for Port St. Joe. She's got 7 points and has created opportunities for others, and that time she threw it away. 4 steals in the quarter for Hawthorne. Mason lost possession along the sideline, so right back to the Sharks.
Good job of Mason of jumping the passing lane, just unable to come up with the loose ball.
Shadovia Hudgens up top. She's getting extended minutes with the foul trouble for Mimi Larry. Port St. Joe showing patience.
Great job of motion offense. Not setting a ton of screens, but just moving and trying to shift the defense.
6-6 at the end of the first quarter. 13-12, Port St. Joe in front. Lennox got a step. Every shot she takes is a rainmaker.
Austin, she is really good, but she makes great decisions. An opportunity there, understanding her defensive player played too high up in the passing lane, coming to a controlled jump shot for a mid-range jumper.
Port St. Joe's leading scorer has 9. Three-point shot was blocked. No opportunity in transition. Lennox going to try to make something happen. It has been controlled aggression for both of these teams so far. Free throw line jumper, no good for Amani Jones. Unable to track it down.
Hawthorne needs a bucket the big way on this possession.
Bowie with a great pump fake at the three-point line to get free. Double-digit scorer off the bench. That's a long two, rebounded by Jackson, and she gave it away right under the basket. A loose ball foul on Port St. Joe will lead to free throws for Hawthorne. Maury Johnson pounding her chest, knows she had a great opportunity.
Now possession. Able to get away with the easy one, and instead it's a turnover. One-on-one opportunity for Hawthorne on this end of the floor.
The way the game is going right now, every point is going to matter, and Hawthorne has certainly left some chances out there at the line. Mason continues to do that. Now 3 for 8 as a team. Coming up on a minute to go in the first half. Reach-in foul on Mason. That is her second. See if Cornelius Ingram leaves her out there with 59.8 to go.
Smart play by Coach Ingram.
Well, ends up taking Oceana Bowie out, puts Liana Bowie back in. And Bowie draws the assignment of guarding Lennox. Off the front rim at the three, and Bowie comes down with it. All the way in. Lennox was in position to take the charge and then just fell down. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Hawthorne.
You got to sell a charge, Austin. You understand? You got to sell it. And I'm pretty sure Port St. Joe has an excellent drama department. And I think what we saw on that possession was Jalen has given us our best impression of taking a charge.
Looked like her best impression of ducking cover. Bowie was still a few feet away, and Lennox had already gone down. Reach-in foul will put Mason back at the line.
I think that's what they call on ESPN like a business decision. You know, sometimes you have to make those in life, and I think that was a business decision.
Yeah. It's double bonus now for Hawthorne, so it'll be 2 shots. That foul given to India Gant is her second.
That was a little short.
Mason going to try to shake that off. Again, sprained MCL in the region final against Wildwood. Cornelius Ingram, who tore his ACL twice, said, look, I got a lot of experience with knee injuries. A sprained MCL would normally keep people out 4 to 6 weeks. And she has a brace on it and is back a week later. And doesn't look like she has any ill effects.
Youth is an amazing thing, isn't it?
Final 20 seconds of the first half. Brathwaite being hounded by Jayla Williams. Hands off to Lennox. Chance for Hawthorne here at the end of the half. And Mason will be on the line again. A foul in the backcourt. Lennox lost her shoe on that drive. India Gant commits the foul. That's her third, so she becomes the second Port St. Joe player with 3 fouls.
She was able to put her shoe back on without unlacing it. Like literally stuck her foot in her shoe and jogged in it 3 steps and it was back on. Hawthorne has not been able to capitalize from being in the double bonus in this game. Not doing the best job from the free throw line. 4 for 10 so far.
1 of 2 there. Hawthorne 52% as a team, but again, they struggled in the semifinal. 7 for 18. Lennox with 5 seconds. 2 defenders on her. Lennox around both, able to get it away. That shot deflected, and it's no good. Hawthorne with a late burst, and Cornelius Ingram's team will head to the locker room leading by 1. 16-15, low-scoring 1A championship game with the Hornets out in front.
We're proud to announce the Hawthorne Company's official supplier of championship rings to the Memorial High School Athletic Association. All participants in the MHSAA state championship events qualify for a championship style ring. Visit MountFloorFL.com for the keepsakes that last forever. good time to visit the Team IP merchandising booth inside the arena to purchase your official FHSAA Basketball State Championship souvenir. Team IP, the official merchandise company of the FHSAA. Florida Dairy Farmers are the proud supporters of student athletes and their families. Farmers know it takes hard work and long hours to excel in the classroom and on the court. Visit FloridaMilk.com to see how dairy farmers across the Sunshine State work hard every day to provide fresh, wholesome milk. Eat like a lake lender. Country Chicken and Fish is conveniently located on Kathleen Road and serves award-winning Southern favorites. Thank you to the following Championship Committee Gold supporters: Lakeland Hotel Association, O'Toole Law Group, Hudson Pump and Equipment, BSN Sports, Glory Days, Outback Steakhouse, Chick-fil-A, Fred's Market, Domino's Pizza, Jimmy John's Gourmet Sandwiches, Fuzzy's Taco Shop, and Bluebell Creamery. Choose everything. Visit Central Florida to experience family-friendly attractions such as Legoland Florida Resort, Rock Tower Gardens, Westgate River Ranch Resort, and much more. Plan your trip now and visit centralflorida.org.
Halftime here at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. Hawthorne leading Port St. Joe by a point, 16-15 in the 1A championship game. Both of these programs in search of their first ever state championship. Andrick, it was a first half that was competitive throughout. Obviously an emphasis on defense. What stands out from the first half stats?
Very small margin of error, but really, Austin, the biggest thing are the free throw attempts. 12 free throw attempts for Hawthorne, which means they're putting pressure on Port St. Joe, making them commit fouls, but they've only been able to convert on 5 of those.
A lot of opportunities at the line for Hawthorne. Port St. Joe program making their second championship game appearance. They were here in 2018, and it's been quite a change. 1976 was the first year that the FHSA conducted a championship in girls basketball. From 76 to 05, Port St. Joe just 2 postseason wins in the state series, and since 2006 it has been a much different story. This is their 4th appearance at the Final Four in the last 5 seasons, and again playing in a championship game for the second time. But Coach Kenneth Parker dealing with some foul trouble. He had 2 players pick up 3 fouls in that first half. India Gant, the outstanding and versatile 8th grader, and Mimi Larry, 5'10" sophomore. Add Janice Brathwaite to that list, who picked up a foul at the end of the first half. And so 3 players with 11 team fouls committed by Port St. Joe. And despite the 3 fouls, Mimi Larry walks onto the floor to start this third quarter. One of these programs 16 minutes away from their first ever championship. Both coming off close semifinal wins. Port St. Joe beat Madison County 51-48. Hawthorne came from behind to beat Holmes County 50-48. Nearly identical scores. Hagen's long on the 3. It's rebounded by Gant.
See if Port St. Joe can get something going offensively.
Mimi Larry hoisting a 3. That's off the front rim. Each team tried a shot from the perimeter on their first possession. Difficult for both teams to generate good looks at the basket on a consistent basis in that first half. Just outside the lane, flip shot no good for Angelina Harris. Initially ruled Hawthorne ball, but Sable Williams changed it to Port St. Joe. FHSA using a mixed officiating crew for both state championship games today, meaning that all 3 people are from different associations. Carlos De Jesus from the Orlando area, Sable Williams from Melbourne, Kenyetta Jackson from Gainesville. We were talking before the game. You like that?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I think sometimes when you bring crews for different areas, I mean, I think it's, they're so comfortable. Having a mixed crew, I think, also kind of, not to say that referees have a bias, but there are tendencies, I think, with certain officiating associations because of the styles of play they're used to officiating. So I love the mixed crew concept, and it honestly allows for your best officials to get to a stage and not have to worry about being part of a group in doing so.
An experiment from the FHSAA, which has been well received so far. 3-point miss by Mason. Hagens has the rebound. Entry pass knocked away by Johnson.
I like this experience a lot, or experiment a lot better than the whole ranking situation by Max Preps, to be honest. And I'm not going to get in that today, but this is one that I can definitely vouch for.
Well, 1A is the only classification in which the old school FHSAA district champion, district runner-up holds true. Champions and runners-up of districts get into the playoffs, and these teams are not ranked when they get here. It is a simple bracket. They're put in. You know who's in front of you. You know who you're going to play. And these are the 2 teams that we had at the end of that process.
Do you know the rationale behind why that would be okay for 1A and not the other 6 classifications?
Well, the 1A coaches overwhelmingly wanted to keep their district format intact, and so as a result, the FHSA stayed true to that. Wide open underneath Angelina Harris. No one around her, and Hawthorne extends the lead.
You know, looking at the stats, Austin, you would think that Hawthorne should be up by a ton. Here, just a defensive miscue by the Sharks. But neither team has been really able to pull away. I think it's really going to come down to which team is able to exert their will down the stretch.
Largest lead in the game for either team has been 4. Lennox off on the 3. Jackson may have gotten away with a travel. And the pass up the floor goes through the hands of Hagans. Hawthorne did a great job taking care of the ball here on Wednesday. Only 12 turnovers in that win against Holmes County, but the numbers starting to pile up for both teams here in the third.
They only had 5, Austin, in the first half.
Jackson swatting that shot attempt by Larry. Williams down the lane. Too strong. Rebound Mason. She goes back up. Left it on the front rim. The ball ends up in the arms of Lennox. Feet tangled up with Mason, and that'll be the 3rd foul on Antonia Mason.
So Lennox a little slow getting up as well.
Mason with 3 for Hawthorne, Gant, Brathwaite, and Larry all with 3 for Port St. Joe. Gant open 3. She's got it, and we're tied at 18.
Every time Hawthorne starts to inch away, Port St. Joe comes back with an answer.
Gant just a 15% three-point shooter, but she stepped into that one with confidence. Nearing the midway point of the third, and we are even again between these two 1A championship teams looking for their first ever title. Jackson lowered a shoulder on that drive. Williams hoisting a 3, and she banks it in.
Yes, the banks are open. Austin, I saw you looking at your watch.
Late banking hours here on a Friday night in Lakeland. Mason with the steal. She finishes, and Hawthorne's got its largest lead of the night. Larry, step back 3, and a rainmaker from the left corner.
Sophomore with the high arching pull-up jumper.
After 5 in a row from Hawthorne, Port St. Joe answers with Larry knocking down the triple, and Cornelius Ingram will spend a timeout. Neither team able to get away. That 3 5-point lead for Hawthorne was the largest advantage for either side tonight.
Now, this is truly a competitive contest. Both coaches having to dig deep into their playbooks to create opportunities for their teams to score.
Both of these teams have dominated against 1A competition, each undefeated. One more game for Port St. Joe. Hawthorne winning against 1A teams by almost a little bit more than 40 points per game. Port St. Joe at 33, an indication that pretty clearly we got the 2 best teams in the class here in the final.
You would think, right? Something has to give tonight. What breaks? I mean, the first team to lose against a 1A competition this year. First team to win a state championship for their respective programs.
It was interesting talking to Kenneth Parker a couple of years ago, and now he talked about changing the culture of this program. He said when Port St. Joe first made it to Lakeland in 2016, they were lacking talent at some key positions. He went into the middle schools, starting putting kids like Jay Lennox against bigger, stronger players in an effort to get them ready to compete, and he is seeing the dividends paid off here.
Well, again, it's, when you put players in a situation where they're pressured at a young age, once they get to this stage, it's something that they're accustomed to. And I think we saw both of these teams start off a little bit of shaky, starting to calm down now.
Quick turn shot from Mari Johnson was strong. Bowie trying to rip it away from Amani Jones. Jump ball, and the possession arrow keeps it with Port St. Joe. Jones is going to be well positioned for a shot in the lane. Instead, Lennox off the mark. Hagans collects it for Hawthorne. Hornets try to add to a 2-point lead. Bowie bullies her way inside and gets a whistle.
I think that was a very smart decision on that play by Bowie to draw the foul, catching the defender on her hip, and Johnson stuck in a vulnerable position. Picks up the foul. Let's see if Bowie can convert.
Second foul on Mari Johnson. That was the first free throw of the half for Hawthorne. They were 5 for 12 in the first half. Some missed opportunities. And 1 of 2 for Bowie. Johnson off the front of the rim. Jackson rebounds it for Hawthorne. Hagans, a little subtle fake. Her shot is a little bit long. Bowie unable to save it.
Hagans is unable to get it going from the outside.
Hit a 3 in the first half, and as we mentioned, she is by far the best shooter on the team. 48 made threes. Hawthorne only has 93 as a team, so she's responsible for more than 50% of their made threes. Lennox and Williams at the top. It's been a fun matchup to watch tonight. Errant pass from Gant and an unforced error from Port St. Joe.
Port St. Joe has to just stick with it. Can't let this lead get into the double digits.
Bowie looking to drive every time she touches it. Mason into the middle of the lane, nothing there. And a reset for Hawthorne.
Look at how far Port St. Joe is packing in this man-to-man defense, daring Hawthorne to make a shot from the outside.
Left-handed drive, no good by Mason. Bowie had the rebound over Lennox, who is really upset at that foul call.
Lennox here attempting to box out while the player was already airborne. I think she had position on that one.
Tough call to go against Lennox. It's her second foul. Jackson hits the floor hard. Quickly helped up by Bowie. A foul is going to be ruled on the floor, not a shooting foul.
She had to be shooting that shot. I mean,
The crew will get together. And now they will give Jaslyn Jackson 2 shots. Jackson 3 points, 1 for 3 at the line.
Free throws continue to be the Achilles heel for Hawthorne.
Now 6 of 15. 1 of 2 for freshman Jaslyn Jackson. Job by Hudgens passing out of that trap. Lennox off the back rim with the runner. Lennox has yet to score here in the third. Corner 3 off the mark from Oceana Blue. Port St. Joe playing from behind most of this third quarter, but they've answered every big play by Hawthorne. Larry up over Hudgens, gets the friendly bounce.
Yet again, partner, another answer.
Williams patiently switching hands with that dribble. Lennox well off, allowing her to run the clock down. Lennox comes a little bit closer as Bowie screens. Shot no good, a foul on the rebounding action against Hawthorne.
They're going to call that call on Liana Bowie.
Her first, just the second team foul on Hawthorne. Into a little zone pressure. Hudgens has the pass deflected and time expires on the third quarter. Nice adjustment at the end of the period there from Cornelius Ingram. Port St. Joe does not get a shot up on that final possession. Close throughout. It is a 2-point game as we head to the final 8 minutes. Hawthorne by 2 here in the 1A championship game. We head to the fourth quarter here at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. Port St. Joe and Hawthorne, two small town programs trying to win the state's ultimate prize, and for each, it would be their first in program history and a chance to go down forever in the history of their respective schools as the first to bring gold back to their community. A lot on the line here in the final 8 minutes.
8 minutes and 2 points, Austin. Separate history for one of these programs. Who's going to come out up top?
Jayla Williams with the ball handling responsibilities, leading scorer for Hawthorne. She's got 5 in the game. Baseline drive and a foul committed by Amani Jones. Well, more free throws from Antonia Mason. Already shot 9.
Hawthorne did a great job there of spacing the floor. Not a very good closeout on that possession by Port St. Joe to allow for the dribble penetration by Mason to draw the foul.
Mason even 50% at the line. She is 5 for 10. Outstanding defender. 14 points, 6 rebounds in the state semifinal win. And again, playing on a sprained MCL that she suffered in the region final against Wildwood. Hawthorne jumps back into that zone press we saw at the end of the third. Larry is trapped. She decides to shoot a 3 off the backboard, and Mason has it for Hawthorne. Foul in the backcourt on Mimi Larry. That's going to be her 4th.
Not a very good possession by Larry.
Larry just a sophomore, and as we documented at the top of the broadcast, there's a lot of youth on this Port St. Joe roster. Some players are experienced. Lennox, a freshman. This is her 3rd year as a starter, but some of these other youngsters don't quite have that amount of game experience, certainly not in a game like this. Jayla Williams here to pick up her pivot foot, but no whistle, and she banked it in. A deflection and a steal. Williams almost dribbled it out of bounds. Mason cuts to the ball and then lost the handle. Lennox picked her pocket. Lennox looking for room. Gant hoisting a 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Johnson. Strong take. And she's rewarded with a foul call.
Great job by Johnson. Offensive rebound to step through. Throwing contact. Shot goes up. See her fight for offensive position here, and the dribble step through.
Port St. Joe needing something good to happen here in the early stages of the 4th. Trailing by 6, and momentum certainly on the side of the Hornets. One of 2 for Mari Johnson, and it's a 5-point game. Williams got the step and got the foul call.
Williams has been fairly quiet for the most part of this contest. He's starting to pick it up here in the 4th quarter.
Cornelius Ingram raved about his junior point guard when we met with him on Wednesday. Said she's been incredible all year, the captain of the team, equally adept at scoring and setting up her teammates. Steps up and hits 1 of 2. 8 points for Jayla Williams. Lennox got past a couple of defenders. The floater is short, got her own miss and put it back in.
Just her ability to get the spots on the floor and get open looks amazes me at her size.
5 feet 2 inches and a ton of energy for Jay Lennox. She is now the first player for Port St. Joe in double figures.
Gets to a spot, shoots a little floater, gets her own rebound, finds a way to stick it in the hole.
11 for Lennox. Port St. Joe with a starting 5 in which the oldest players are sophomores. A couple of sophomore starters, a couple of freshmen, and then an 8th grader with India Gant. No juniors or seniors have contributed any scoring for the Sharks. So not only does Kenneth Parker have his team here with a chance to win a state title, again, they were here a couple of years ago. They may very well be here for the next 3 years, given the makeup of this roster.
It's what you call building the pipeline, partner. Succession planning is what they call this in corporate America.
Kenneth Parker, a couple of state championships as a track coach. His daughter, Kayla, ran track at Kentucky. She's now the director of operations for the track program at Texas. A guy who grew up in Port St. Joe, worked at the St. Joe paper mill after high school, been an assistant coach and won state titles in basketball, trying to win a state championship as a head coach in basketball. And for a basketball program that's got a ton of boys titles and has so much pride in the success that they've had in the boys program, to be able to win one for the girls program would mean a lot to him and obviously to everyone out there on the floor. 4-point game under 6 minutes to go. Mason weaving her way inside and banking it in.
Hawthorne once again with an answer.
Corner three, no good. Brathwaite, offensive rebound and stick back for Johnson.
Neither team willing to go away, partner.
Williams trying to direct Jaslyn Jackson. Mason closely guarded by Gant. And a timeout for Cornelius Ingram. Play has been stopped. There's all kinds of strange things happening in the stands. A fight has broken out. Security officials trying to get that under control. That's now where everyone's attention is. So the teams are in their respective bench areas trying to maintain focus as security gets the crowd situation under control.
We need him out.
I hate to see something like this affect the concentration, the integrity of the game that's taking place.
It's been such a good contest, by the way, too.
To be honest, we're not too far away from where that took place. I was somewhat concerned.
Well, I could feel a little bit of the heat behind me, partner, and I was going to make sure that you were going to be okay. You know, I'm just.
I'm glad
my sixth
you're,
sense,
I'm glad your selfless.
Up. Yeah, I mean,
the selfless act would have made us all right. There's our broadcast position.
Yeah.
Right up there is where we're getting a little testy.
Just make sure, you know.
We've got FHSA administrators over here and Polk County's finest up there.
Lakeland and Polk County Sheriffs here.
I've seen less haymakers thrown in a prize fight than I saw when I looked behind us.
Yeah, that was
that activity.
I mean, but when you're 110 pounds, 115 pounds, you know, you can kind of withstand some of that. It's a little different. You know, when you start getting into the 185, 200 range and you're throwing those kind of punches, people start going to sleep.
So they're sorting that out. The FHSA Executive Director, George Tommen, is on the floor with the officials, wanting to make sure that everything is under control before we restart the game. They have pretty much cleared out that entire section of fans, and now we've got the okay. But back to the matter at hand, 4:55 to go. Hawthorne out of the timeout, nursing a 4-point lead. Port St. Joe with scores on their last couple possessions, a follow by Lennox and Johnson. 2 scores off offensive rebounds. Gant applying a lot of pressure on Mason. Hagans backs it out. Williams will reset. Absorbed a little bump, not enough for a foul call, and it's out of bounds to Port St. Joe.
Great defensive possession here by Port St. Joe.
Mimi Leary playing with 4 fouls. Tough shot. Too strong off the backboard, but another offensive rebound for the Sharks. That's how they've done it here for the last couple of minutes. Mason comes away with that miss for Hawthorne. No numbers, so she wisely will back it out. Higgins all the way through the lane, kick out Mason.
Hawthorne taking a little air out of the basketball. Watch for the 5-second count here.
Everything that happens now is magnified here in the final 3 minutes plus. Williams, bounce pass inside, shot was blocked. Offensive rebound for Hawthorne, and Lennox comes out of there with it for Port St. Joe. Lennox had it taken away, Mason to the deck, and they'll call her for a travel.
I'm not sure how you're able to travel when the ball is loose and it's bouncing on the floor.
I would agree with you. Didn't look like Mason had possession. The call goes against Hawthorne. Port St. Joe a chance to cut into a 4-point lead. Lennox, she's been so clutch all night.
Such a great job of getting her feet wet, getting to the paint, and knocking down the mid-range jumper.
13 for Jay Lennox, 2-point game. What a save there by Williams. And then she gave it away. Larry with the steal. Mason takes it right back for Hawthorne. Williams gets into the lane. And a loose ball foul will go against the Hornets.
Wonder if fatigue is starting to set in on both of these ball clubs.
Well, Hawthorne's been so under control for most of this quarter, but a couple of times they've made decisions to attack when seemingly there's nothing there.
I think it's the pressure of wanting to score a basket, but the defense of Port St. Joe is so tight, and another open layup.
Williams missed it. Rebound, Amadi Jones. Another second chance basket for Port St. Joe, and we are tied at 32.
Port St. Joe here just not giving up on the play, utilizing their height advantage, attacking the offensive glass, and tying up the game is Miss Amani Jones.
14 offensive rebounds for the Sharks. That's how they've gotten back in it here in the fourth quarter. 32-all with 2:03 remaining in the game. Port St. Joe has been in attack mode. Hawthorne a little bit on their heels offensively. What's going to determine the outcome here in the final 2:03?
Well, I think there are two things: free throw shooting and the ability to take care of the basketball. I mean, we've seen Hawthorne be able to force the issue and get to the line, but they have not been able to convert on a consistent basis. And Port St. Joe right now, I think, has the advantage with the way Jay Lennox has been playing. Her pace, her ability to get the basketball where she wants to on the floor. One thing to keep an eye on partner, Port St. Joe has 16 fouls, so Hawthorne is in the bonus the rest of the way. Hawthorne still has 2 fouls to give.
Under 2 minutes to go, reach-in foul against Gant. That's her 4th, and it will be a 1-and-1 for Antonia Mason. So right away, what you talked about with free throw shooting will come into play. And Mason has been to the line more than anyone else on this Hawthorne team. They've shot 20 free throws as a team. Mason shot 11 of them. She is 6 for 11. Unable to convert. 11 missed free throws for Hawthorne. Port St. Joe has a chance to retake the lead.
How much air do you take out of the basketball if you're Port St. Joe?
Ball loose inside, taken away by Jackson, and she is fouled. So nothing on that possession for Port St. Joe. It's the 4th foul on Mari Johnson. Four fouls on Johnson, 4 on Larry, 4 on Indy again. 3 players on the floor for Port St. Joe with 4 fouls, and it's a 1-and-1 for Jaslyn Jackson.
Big free throw there by the freshman.
One for 2, but Hawthorne has the lead back, 33-32. Gant feeling it from 3, off the rim. Jackson with a big rebound, surrounded by Port St. Joe players. She gets it to Williams. Williams dribbles it off her foot, and here comes Lennox. Crosses over all the way in, can't get it to go, and the rebound to Jayla Williams. Under a minute to go.
Coach Ingram here, do you call a timeout or you let them play?
For the moment, he is letting them go. Mason with Larry backing up and giving ground. 37 seconds to go. And before Lennox gives the foul, a timeout taken by Hawthorne.
So I think if you're Coach Ingram, not only do you have to call a play to get the basketball in bounds, you have to call a play, you ask me, that puts you in a position to score. If you can't score, then you pull the basketball out. What you don't want to do is throw a long pass in the backcourt and risk a turnover.
Port St. Joe is the team trailing by 1. Coach Parker now a chance to talk about his defensive strategy. What do you expect to see from the Sharks?
I think once the ball comes in, you have to foul. I mean, that's what I do here down 1. I think you put them on the free throw line. They have not been shooting the basketball well. You don't want to allow them to take any more time off the clock.
Port St. Joe retreating defensively. An easy catch for Mason in the backcourt. Williams able to get it. Time running down here. Lennox seeming to be the only player with any urgency. Bowie will take the shot. It's no good. Ball loose underneath. A jump ball. The arrow gives it to Port St. Joe with 14.2 remaining. Cornelius Ingram yelling why as he looks out on the floor. So now Port St. Joe a chance to potentially win it.
We'll probably have 2 fouls to give. You cannot let Lennox catch the basketball, and she has lost her shoe.
Larry to Gant. Timeout Port St. Joe with 5.6 seconds remaining. It's the second time Jay Lennox has come out of one of her shoes. You want to make sure those are laced up tight during this timeout.
You would think, right? And it's the same shoe. That left foot just does not want to act right. Here just comes right out of the shoe. It's like Cinderella with the slipper.
Well, we'll see if that slipper still fits here in about 5.6 seconds. Kenneth Parker to the dry erase board to try to draw something up. And again, Hawthorne with 2 fouls to give. If you can force Port St. Joe to throw the ball backwards, you might be able to foul this clock down to a second or 2 remaining.
Let's see if he's coached this up.
Mimi Larry will throw it in for Port St. Joe. Lennox heads for the corner. Now gets it. Lennox dribbling around. She's tied up. Whistle comes. A jump ball. Hawthorne has the arrow with 1.7 seconds to go.
Port St. Joe can't pout. They need to be able to foul right here immediately when the ball comes in.
And not a pressuring. Mason's going to catch it, and that's it. Hawthorne, for the first time ever, has a girls basketball state championship.
In that situation, partner, you cannot give up. There was 1.7 seconds left on the clock. Had an opportunity to at least give a foul. But how about the Hawthorne Hornets? Cornelius Ingram bringing home a state championship for Hawthorne.
A hard-fought, well-played game by both sides. Outstanding defense. Hawthorne, in the end, is 1 point better. And what a moment for that team, this community, and their coach, Cornelius Ingram. I don't think you want to go up too hard against him.
Not at all. You may shatter a clavicle.
Two-time national champion at the University of Florida. And I bet, knowing how much pride he has in his community, this title means just as much and maybe a little bit more.
I have to ask, we're going to be like free burgers for everybody at the Burger Barn tomorrow in Hawthorne. I might drive up there, partner.
Just trying to get a free burger for yourself.
Hey, I'll bring you one back, I promise.
33-32 the final score. A fantastic effort from the ladies from Port St. Joe for the second time in 3 years. It will be silver medals that they will take back to the Panhandle. What a great Final Four. Semifinals decided by a total of 5 points, and the championship game decided by a single point. Hawthorne is the team that ultimately comes out top. The Hornets finish with a record of 29-2, and they are the Class 1A state champions for the first time ever. For Andrew Frazier and our entire Hard Work Inspection News crew, led by Director Mike Catolo and producer Chris McCulley, Austin Lyons saying so long from the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. Congratulations to the Hawthorne Hornets. They are the 2020 1A state champs.
And now the presentation of medals to the champions, Hawthorne Hornets. Number 1, Jalen Williams. Number 2, Leon Bowie. Number 3, Letitia Brown. Number 4, Grace Hughley. Number 5, Antonia Mason. Number 10, Jasmine Jackson. Number 11, Octavia Higgins. Number 12, Oceana Bowie. Number 15, Bianna Reese. Number 22, Angelina Harris. Number 23, Yamara Wynn. And number 24, Charisma Manning. Assistant coach, Raymond Hughes. And head coach, Jordan Sandra. And now, Team Lab will present the Champions Trophy to Coach Ingram. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome This concludes our award ceremony.